Hey guys, it's TEW2016 Maxwell here and welcome to another edition of TNA Making an Impact. Now on the road to No Surrender, we've got this show, next week's show, and we're right into the pay-per-view. So hopefully we're building this up well, giving you a good card, and then hopefully carrying that momentum on into Bound for Glory. So I've managed to do 16 segments here, quite a few matches take a bit of time, because obviously we've got some big impact coming from those matches, including the Battle Royal, to determine the fourth person in the Fatal 4-Way No Surrender. So without further ado, we'll just jump straight into it. I hope you enjoy today's show. So we'll get 3,432 in the Bob Martinez Sports Centre, which I believe is a sellout. Our first pre-show match is terrible, and Sami Callihan defeats Aidan O'Shea in 802 by a curb stomp. D-36, Aidan O'Shea is off his game. Sami Callihan with the 36, Aidan O'Shea with the 30, just building up a bit of momentum for Sami. No skill improvements in this instance. Few negatives here, mostly for Aidan O'Shea. Maybe need to work on the gimmick for Sami Callihan, but he's going to be a trusty member of our X Division. And our other pre-show match had some decent wrestling but little heat, as the American Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, defeated the Tribunal of Baron Dax and Basil Baraka in 10 minutes and 13 when Eddie Edwards defeated Baron Dax by pinfall, a cross-legged fisherman's buster. C-57, good win there for the Wolves. Baraka still not suited to his gimmick. A 68 for Eddie Edwards, a 69 for Davey Richards, 32 for Baron Dax, and a very poor 28 for Basil Baraka. No skill improvements here, negatives mostly for Baraka and Baron Dax. So we start the show with the champion, it's Stu Barrett, and he says, "I bloody told you so. You lot didn't listen. You all thought Hard Justice was just going to be Drew Galloway's run at redemption by recapturing the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Well, ha bloody ha. Standing before you, the King of the Bullhammer, the champion, me, Stu Barrett. So what next for me? Well, definitely not Drew Galloway. Back to the back of the pecking order you go, mate. It's time for someone else to step up and take on the unbreakable Barrett Barrage." So good promo there from Barrett, C+70, the championship storyline advances. Kick on to our next segment. It's Carly who comes out. She's interrupted Barrett and she says, "Stu, our champion, the man reigning supreme at the top of the mountain, I come to you with some bad news. You will defend your championship at No Surrender, as Drew Galloway will get his final opportunity. If he loses there shall be no more title shots for him for the foreseeable future." Barrett responds by saying, "You can't do that. He's a loser." Carly replies, "I can, and I just did. Also on to tonight's Stu, you'll be in tonight's main event, a tag team match where you will team up with fellow Englishman, Magnus, to take on the team of Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley. Call it a tune-up match all you want, with only 10 days to No Surrender." So C-56, Carly underperformed. It continues their storyline. And yeah, hopefully again we can just keep building her overness up over time. Our opening contest then on the full show is about they had some decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. And it was Matt Jackson who defeated James Storm in 826 by pinfall, a moonsault. C-55. The match hit the crowd hotter. James Storm with a 46, Matt Jackson with a 59. There were no skill improvements in this one either. Only negatives, mostly for James Storm, but a match up to get Matt Jackson a little bit over. Matt Jackson picks up the victory with a win over James Storm, and his brother gets in the ring and gets a microphone. Nick Jackson says, "Whoa, James Storm, when is it just time to give up, retire, and go home and drink your life away? You're past it now. This is a new era coming through, and you have no friends around here." Storm slowly gets to his feet, and bam, both of the Jacksons nail him with a double super kick. You could call it a super kick party. Matt Jackson then turns around and goes, "Oh, and Jamesy boy, sorry about your damn luck." So C-57, the former Young Bucks, attacking James Storm and mocking him because he has no friends in TNA. Next up, we have a promo from Spud, who says, after the vicious assault by Shibata, Hard Justice, Tonight I finally get my rematch. Disgusting actions by him on Sunday must be prevented by TNA management, and thankfully they have decided that Shibata must enter the ring first tonight. It's been too long, but he has been just so inconsiderate for his co-workers' safety, and I feel it's my duty to end the warpath that he has been on and bring him back down to earth. It's time for the underdog to step up. So Spud's promo there, they finally get the match because Spud got the all clear. D45, and it continues the war from the underdog storyline. And in a poor match, Shibata defeats Spud in 9:17 by pinfall. Simple victory for Shibata. All the hype just led to basically him destroying Spud. At D46, they both didn't click. Spud with 36, Shibata with 48. They'll continue the war for the underdog storyline. Whether they go at it no surrender, I'm unsure. As you know, big plans ahead for Shibata. A few negatives there, but overall, we finally got them to have their match. Next up, we've got a promo with the TNA National Champion, Jay Lethal. JB asks him, how does it feel, Jay Lethal, to be the maiden TNA National Champion? Lethal says, it feels amazing, knowing that TNA gave me an opportunity and I took it. I am now in a position to raise this championship into one of the most prestigious championships in professional wrestling. JB says, so what's next then for Jay Lethal in the TNA National Championship? Lethal says, I get to go out there and I defend it. I have a match tonight with Bram, where the title is on the line. I will show the world that some of the best professional wrestling is here in TNA, and it's going to be in this national championship division. So solid promo there, and that's the D45 for Jay Lethal, who defends the title later tonight. We have a terrible match where Mike Bennett defeats Grado in 9:25 with a box office smash. E plus 35. Bennett was off his game and both gentlemen didn't click, which was disappointing. Grado with the 24, Bennett with the 36. But overall, just a victory to get Bennett a bit of more momentum after his defeat to Lethal. And he's got a promo segment after it, where he says, this is so unfair. Last Sunday I was robbed of the chance of becoming the maiden TNA National Champion by Jay Lethal, Carly, in a technicality. This is a disgrace. This company should treat their superstars with respect, and I am the miracle Mike Bennett, and you should all respect me. So Carly, Bram, may have a title shot tonight with Lethal. God damn it, it should be me. I expect a title shot next week. So D47 there, a bit of a rage there from Mike Bennett, as he is not getting a title shot tonight. Next up and about, they had some subpar wrestling. And Little Heat, we had Jade defeat Tessa Blanchard in 8:42 by pinfall. Tessa's in a one-night deal. D47, Jade's getting better at her gimmick. She's hinting at a face turn, but I get little reaction as fans recognise it's not a strong suit. Tessa with the 28, Jade with the 54, as we hope to usher the women's division or knockouts division into a new era. There were no skill improvements to speak of. Only negative there, negative crowd reaction for Tessa Blanchard and low experience of the announce team. Jade picks up the victory over Tessa Blanchard. Sienna joins her in the ring and raises her arm, but Jade quickly pulls it down and she turns and looks at Sienna as if there's an intent to fight her. She then points at the championship and then heads out the ring alone. So a bit of tension between Sienna, the new champion, and Jade. D40 waiting, and Jade hinted the face turn again. Even though it says that, there's a good chance she'll probably turn heel. Turn face, sorry. Next up in a decent match, Jay Lethal defeated Bram in 9:39 by pinfall with lethal combination. Jay Lethal makes defense number 1 of the TNA National Championship. Very good C64, so proud of them for doing that. Got the crowd hotter. Jay Lethal with 59, Bram with 60. No skill improvements, but overall, really happy they were able to bring that kind of match to TNA Impact. Now we got a promo from Robert Roode, or Bobby Roode, whatever we decide to call him. Tonight is the night, ladies and gentlemen, where Bobby Roode makes a proper impact again in TNA. Yes, ladies and gents, the it factor of TNA wrestling is back, and tonight I defeat 19 other men in an over-the-top rope battle royal. Moving on in the Bound for Glory chase, and into the fatal 4-way match in No Surrender. Tonight you will witness the most focused, driven, ruthless Bobby Roode, and I will make sure all of my opponents end up surrendering. I will be TNA World Heavyweight Champion again. It's just a matter of time. So strong words from Bobby Roode there, and a B-76, very strong promo from him, from the It Factor. Okay, here we go. So in a decent match, we had our Battle Royal, and it was Fergal Devitt who won the Battle Royal in 18 minutes and 39 to advance into the Fatal 4-Way. The other members of the Final Four were Adam Cole, EC3 and Robert Roode, with Adam Cole being the final elimination, and EC3 getting most of the eliminations over the course of the match. The C+69 is a good rating. Other superstars featured Adam Cole, Bram, Braxton Sutter, Crazy Steve, Eli Drake, EC3, Phoenix, Fergal Devitt, James Storm, Jay Lethal, Jesse, Kenny Omega, MVP, Broken Matt Hardy, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Ricochet, Robert Roode, Trevor Lee, and Tyrus. A couple of storylines advanced with this. Jesse was only one off his game. He's also getting better at his gimmick. Skill improvements, technical improvements for Tyrus and Crazy Steve, performance skills upgrades for Jesse, Robert Roode, EC3, Matt and Nick Jackson. Obviously there's going to be a lot of positives, a lot of negatives because of the Battle Royal stipulation. We then finish with a hype video recapping the opening segment and hyping our main event, which is of course Jeff and Bobby Lashley against Magnus and Stu Barrett. So that's a C-58, of course that's 3 members of the Fatal 4-Way, plus the champ. We finished the show in a decent match, Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley defeating Magnus and Stu Barrett in 15-13, when Jeff Hardy defeated Magnus by pinfall with a Swanton Bomb. In terms of in-ring work, Stu Barrett was head and shoulders above everyone else. So this was a C+68. Magnus suffering a dislocated elbow might hamper some of my plans going forward. Shit. Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley have absolutely zero chemistry as partners. Bobby Lashley with 54, Jeff Hardy with 51, Stu Barrett with 72, and a 62 for Magnus. So great performance from the likes of Barrett, Magnus, and I think the lack of chemistry between Hardy and Lashley affected their performance massively and possibly the rating as well. It continues the storyline, it gives Jeff Hardy some momentum going into next week, and yeah, pretty happy with that overall. Oh, the locker room getting a bit unhappy with Jeff Hardy after his mistake caused Magnus to get hurt. C+68 and increasing our popularity in every region that we're in, so that's good. Continuing to gain momentum in the US, Canada, and the UK. So delighted with that. We'll see what's happening in our old news items. Anything here that directly affects us, Magnus hurt badly. It's going to sideline him, so I think that's going to assume that he's going to be missing going forward. See, TNA Impact was great, drawing a lot of praise. Magnus has relocated, that's cool. Grado has only got a month left in his contract, so we need to renew that. Let's check the dreaded injury then, Magnus. Physical. 17 days, so he'll miss the pay-per-view. But he should be fine for Bound for Glory, so I'm going to have to try and work that in a storyline. That's cool. TV rating was a 2.20. Bobby Roode saying that Grado's a natural talker, and Jesse is not worth anything, says Broken Matt Hardy. Can we do anything with medical to help that dislocated elbow? We can't, so he's out for 17 days. Abyss is back in 17 as well. Caleb Conley still another 3 months, and another 21 days for Rey Mysterio. But overall, we're still improving well. 35 prestige, 37 momentum. Got TNA Impact next week, and then we head into our pay-per-view. Size-wise, going away at a steady pace, and yeah, things are ticking along nicely. So not too much to comment upon. Basically, we have our Fatal 4-Way booked in for No Surrender. It's going to be Hardy, Devitt, Magnus. Obviously can't be there now, so who's going to replace him? Will someone replace him? I'll get a couple of days to think of that. And Bobby Lashley as well. So I don't know what I'm going to do. What would you do in such a situation? Let me know what you think, guys. Say any comments, likes, subscriptions are all deeply appreciated as always. Yeah, just hope you're enjoying it. I'm really having fun with it. Hopefully we can continue to kick on. As always, thanks for watching, guys. It's appreciated. Take it easy. Keep playing the old TEW. See you later. Bye bye.